for joining us today. I'm here with my friend and past customer, Larry Cicluna. He has finished his basement and he's going to tell us a little bit of the secrets and some of the things he's done here. So, Larry, tell us a little bit about how you finished your basement, and first off, what is your favorite thing about the basement that you finished here? What do you enjoy the most out of it?
Well, you know, we've lived here for about 8 or 9 years, and we didn't finish the basement until a couple of years ago. And one of the things we really wanted to kind of find out, what is it that we wanted from a basement before you even started finishing it.
It's a good idea,
right? So we took our time in terms of designing the basement. You know, we've got enough bedrooms upstairs, so we decided not to do bedrooms downstairs. So we wanted really a recreational area, and since we have a walkout basement, we wanted to take advantage of all the light coming in and have it such that we could entertain down here and go out to the yard and things like that. So I'd say that probably the thing that we enjoy the most down here, I mean, we come down, we have a theater room, we watch movies on a regular basis, we'll entertain down here, we have the pool table and the exercise area, so we use both. I think for me, my favorite is the theater room, but my wife would say that the wine room is her favorite. So.
There we go. I can understand that. So you finished the basement primarily for entertainment purposes, just a place to have friends over or just come down and relax?
Yeah, we like to entertain.
Okay.
And so we'll have like football parties. So I made sure there was enough television sets down here to do that, especially during football season when the Broncos are playing. So we have people here. We wanted a large bar area, and so we ended up putting TVs not only in this room, in the theater room, but we have a TV right near the bar here that we can pull out and people can eat and watch TV.
Perfect.
So I think that's we get a lot of use out of it.
Excellent, excellent. So now, is there anything in the basement in particular that if you were to do it again, what would you change or what would you add on to it? Anything different than what you've done so far?
Well, let me tell you a little bit about kind of what we've got in here, and then we can, you can take some shots of it. When we were designing it, one of the things we did is my wife and I, we have different ways of looking at things. And so I'm a very visual person. Debbie, my wife, isn't. So one of the things we do when it was opened is I would walk it, I would lay tape down, put some blue tape down wherever I thought I was going to have a wall or not a wall or the bar. And then, we'd kind of, I'd walk and pace it, put the tape down and sort of try to visualize it, and then let her visualize it as well. And so I think because we took our time doing it, for us there probably isn't really anything that I would do differently from what we've done here. We took advantage of we had about 2,300 square feet in here. We took advantage of about 2,000 square feet.
Okay.
We left 2 rooms that we have that are storage rooms. One's behind the theater room where I can get to all of the wires and all that, and also our sprinkler system. So I wanted to have one there, and I wanted to have a storage room for our odds and ends. And so we wanted a bathroom, but we wanted a fairly large bathroom in here, and we wanted to take advantage of the light. Right. If you notice in here, we didn't do a lot of walls, so I did half walls. Okay. And the reason I did that is, again, we've got a lot of windows in the basement, so I wanted to let as much light in here as possible. Right. So I have, half walls between this area, so it gives the appearance of a lot of space, even more than what you have.
Right, keep it open.
Exactly. And on the mechanical room, the mechanical room was kind of in the middle of the basement, and I made sure that we ended up with a mechanical room that was very small. So I worked around it and put the large doors in here so I could get to the furnace and all the mechanical equipment. So
easy access.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it worked out pretty well. We wanted a kitchen. The only thing we don't have down here is a stove, but it would be easy to do. And we designed it such that if at some point, our mother or father needed a place to stay, and we did need a kind of mother-in-law apartment, we have it set up so that one of these half walls could be built into a full wall, and we know where we close it off.
Completely.
So I think, as people think about their basements, they should think about what they want now, and then what they might change as the kids leave, or as your caregiving. What would you do and plan that into kind of your basement. So for us, you know, recreation was our main thing, but we knew our parents were getting older, so we wanted to keep that in our sense too. So we built a full kitchen down here except for a stove.
Right.
And so we can entertain, and it could be a mother-in-law suite if we eventually want.
If you need to, so planning ahead. That's a good sage advice there. So.
I think with anything you do like a basement, I think you really need to sit down and really think about it. And you know, once we actually did it and knew what we wanted, I hired an architect who drew the plans up.
Okay.
I knew I was going to do a lot of the general contracting myself, so I needed a full set of plans. So we spent $1,000 to get the plans drawn up and had the architect kind of look over what we had done.
This is one of the best basements I've seen, so that $1,000 was probably a great investment because the layout is really fantastic. So now you said you did the general contracting yourself then?
Yeah.
And did you have contractors come in and do different parts, or did you do much work yourself?
I think if I was to look at it, I probably did about 20% of the work myself.
Okay.
The things that I felt comfortable with. So obviously the electrical, I had a subcontractor, although I did some of the electrical work myself. I had all the drywall done by a general contractor and the framing done by a general contractor. And so I helped them do some of the work. That was kind of the stipulation, that I'd bring them in and then we would do some things together.
Okay.
That helps on cost, but it made sure that I knew exactly what was going on and where. So, and then of course, I did all the permitting myself through the City of Westminster. I think, again, when you're finishing a basement, that's one of the reasons why the plans, having someone do the plans up like an architect, it was very easy to go in, went to the city, you know, laid out, they could see that what I was doing. They came in here, I really had very little problems doing it. They came, you know, every few weeks at each stage of the basement. And I could walk them through it because I'd done some of the work myself.
Right.
And then I did a lot of the finish work myself, so you know, a lot of the trim work and things like that.
Okay, all right, excellent. So having that intimate, detailed knowledge of what was happening in the basement helped a lot with the city, getting through the permit process, the inspections. And
absolutely, and it saves quite a bit of money because, you know, if you look at the basement, I probably spent about $29 a square foot to do this basement.
Really?
Yeah. If I was to hire someone to do it, it would probably be more like $40 or $42 a square foot.
Or
more.
Absolutely.
So by doing some of the work yourself, you really get to do a lot, and you save a little bit of money as well. If you're inclined to do that kind of stuff.
Did you enjoy doing it?
Yeah, I did, and I took my time. I mean, the basement took us probably 3 months to do.
Okay.
I mean, I think you got to plan a lot of time to do it. It can be messy. I mean, especially when the drywall's here. But and then while you're doing it, you can see if there's things that small things that you might change as you're going along, rather than trying to do it, you know, in 3. Because you can hire someone to do it. They'll do it in 6 weeks if you want them to.
Right.
By taking a little bit longer, we were able to make adjustments as we were going through.
So you did kind of change it a little bit here and there. So, okay.
Yeah, I mean, again, on the mechanical room, we originally had a diagonal wall, and as we were going through, I realized that we were just wasting a lot of space in here, so I made a little sitting area here. When we entertain, we can have extra people here, we can have a card table if we want to play poker or things like that, and so I actually cut the wall out and then made another half wall. So, and I did that as we were going through. Because once the framing starts going up, you start to see what it was. Another thing that we did, and I think that it would be, you know, advisable for people, because it is a basement. We have, you know, our ceilings are about 8-9 feet in some places. Some of the newer homes have 10-foot ceilings. Some of the older ones have only, you know, 7 or 8 foot ceilings. What I would suggest is you'll notice that I put a lot of extra electrical lighting here, probably twice what was required for a space like this. Especially, you know, if we go upstairs, I don't have as many. So I put a lot of extra pod lighting as I was going through. I added probably another 30-40% of lighting. So at night, especially, you get, it looks very open.
Right, and you have enough different areas of the basement here that you can control the lighting to the mood or the setting that you want to be in. So,
and I have a lot of dimmers, and we have some. You can buy some switches that are fairly inexpensive that you can have remote control, so I can actually, you know, reduce the light in some places if I need to.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah. So, any other advice you'd like to give anyone for the some things that they could do, or any secrets that you want to share with them at this point? So.
Well, I think, some of the things I think, is, as you're going through, one of the things that, in some of the basements you'll have beams that are supporting the
Right.
joists. One of the things I did a lot of trim work with wood, and you can do it fairly inexpensively. You buy 1/4 inch pine, nice pine, and some trim. And so I trimmed a lot of the poles with the wood and then stained them.
Right.
And then I actually made some false beams on the ceilings that I didn't need to have there, but I actually did them just to give it a little dress-up look. So what I would say is the trim work is not as expensive as people might think it is, and by doing a little bit extra, even around the half walls, I don't have drywall, I have it behind it, but I did some finish work on there that just give it a little bit of warmth.
Right.
But it dresses it up a lot as well, like even the crown molding and things like that. So, you might spend a little bit more money doing that, but it's not a lot. But you really it just makes it so much warmer when you're done.
Right. You have a very warm basement here, and the beams give it a real substantial feel as well.
Yeah.
So
And they're all false beams. I mean, they're just 2x4s behind it, and then you dress it up with 1/4 inch pine. And as long as you have a nail gun, I learned a lot of things as I was finishing it. That it was a good experience for me, because I said, oh, I watched some of the carpenters do things, and I said, well, I could do that.
I can do that.
So I bought myself, a compressor with a couple of guns, and I noticed that when they did it, they would have a finished nail gun and then a different gun,
Right.
and so they didn't have to, move and change things around. So you learned that, hey, for $50 I can buy a gun and have everything ready, and it went quickly.
Just go through it. So excellent. Well, it sure looks like you did a great job here.
Well,
I sure appreciate you sharing your
Thank you.
ideas and everything, Larry. It's been great. Really appreciate it. I hope everybody's enjoyed this segment on how to do basements. Larry's got an awesome basement down here. Really enjoyed here. So thanks, and join us again soon.
Thanks.